Hey folks, recently on my macro MIDI controller video, someone asked in the comments if the same code would work with a USB number pad. And unfortunately no, because inside of this device is a Raspberry Pi Pico, but it got me wondering, can you turn a USB device into a MIDI controller? And the short answer is yes, you can do it without removing a single screw using a USB host like the Teensy. In this video we'll go over what all works, what doesn't work, and explore some creative ways to turn your old USB gear into MIDI controllers. Let's get started. Alright, I'm cutting in here real quick just to say there are software options for your computer that can translate keyboard inputs into MIDI. That's just not what this experiment is about. And if you just want to see the devices in action, you can jump to those timestamps. Otherwise, enjoy the journey. Over on the blue mat for this build, we're using a Teensy, either the 4.0 or 4.1, a breadboard, and some kind of cable to connect the USB host pins. It should include 2 data lines, power and ground. Here I've spliced a cable and added DuPont pins to use with female pin headers. PJRC sells a host cable, but you can also make your own if you have the parts lying around. I used a flush mount micro USB cable, but since most USB devices use USB-A, that would probably be a better choice. I'm just using what I had on hand, and as a result, I needed to splice a separate micro USB male to USB-A female cable. TLDR, use a host cable that has a USB-A female connection on one end. The Teensy 4.1 has dedicated pins for the USB host, so I'd recommend going with that one if you have the choice, but it'll work just as well on Teensy 4.0. Functionally, the only difference is PJRC says not to hot plug USB devices to the USB host while the device is running. So you'll want to always unplug the device first. Later on in the video, I will be hot plugging it, so do what I say, not what I do. And if the board dies, so be it. It's all in the name of science. So now we've assembled our circuit connecting our 2 data lines, power and ground. We'll still use the USB micro port to connect to our computer, and the host cable will connect to our USB devices. Once you've got everything wired up, you can install the sketch, but first I want to tell you some things that didn't work. Apparently the Raspberry Pi Pico can host USB, and in fact I got this other board that uses the Pico 2's RP2340 chip with built-in host connection, but I couldn't get it to recognize anything. It might be because I'm trying to read serial data and send MIDI at the same time, and there might be some kind of conflict there, and aside from a couple of examples, I couldn't find much information on this board. Another potential option is the ESP32S3. As you can see, it has the 2 USB-C ports, but I've spent 2 rotations around the sun trying to get this board to work on my Mac, and I've thrown in the towel. Twice, in fact. So, although the Teensy is a bit more expensive than these other devices, it's the only one that did the job with no fuss. I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting a Teensy just for this, but if you have one lying around, it does expand its functionality. If you've had any luck using other boards as a USB host, let us know down in the comments. And added points if it can send MIDI at the same time. Here's the Frankenstein USB cable I made that goes into our flush mount cable and then into the Teensy's USB host. The cords on this thing are a bit ridiculous, but today we're embracing the chaos. It would all look a bit better with an actual enclosure. There, close enough. Now over in the Arduino IDE, we're ready to install our sketch. Once you have everything set up and you're able to install sketches to the Teensy, there are a couple things we want to do to configure our board. We'll be using the Teensy's USB library, and we need to configure the board to be both serial and MIDI. This sketch is available on GitHub, and basically what we're doing is listening for USB serial data and using the Teensy to translate that into MIDI messages. Now after a quick set change, we're ready to test out some devices. I'm recording this into Logic Pro where we have an electric piano selected, and the Teensy is turning the serial data from the devices into MIDI in Logic. An interesting thing about some keyboards is that they use a matrix which only allows a certain number of keys to be held at one time. I was really pleased to see it work on game controllers too, although manufacturers map the buttons differently. The more you know. bet you didn't expect to hear blues on a Sega controller today, but here we are. Unlike my cheap keyboard, the 8-bit DOE seems to have no limit on the number of keys that can be held down, and it works over this Bluetooth connection. Not all USB devices, these cheap knockoff controllers didn't register at all. I basically tried all the USB devices I had lying around, and it even worked on this cheap mouse, although it's pretty difficult to play accurately. Surprisingly, it also works on this imitation PlayStation controller. And now here they are all together. And that's it. Let me know down in the comments if you have any old awesome USB things you'd like to turn into MIDI controllers, and
feed the algorithm.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.